with you how to look after your customers, but also how to convert your customers, if you look after them well, into business owners. Because so many of us join Forever through being a customer first. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Natalie Heeley. I've been with Forever for coming up to 13 years now. When I started, I used to work in marketing, and I'd been made redundant twice, and that was at the same time as I started my family. So when I finally looked at Forever, I was at home with a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. I had very little confidence because I think, you know, when you become a mum, being made redundant, everything from the past had kind of disappeared. My mum had been in Forever for about 10 years, and for 10 years she'd been talking to me about the business opportunity. And for 10 years I'd been saying, "Mum, I'm not interested." So you're going to talk to lots of people that might be family, that might be friends, and they're not necessarily going to be interested straight away. So you must always be following them up and following them up. And that's just what my mum did. And finally, I was at a point in my life where I was looking for an opportunity. Although I had little confidence, I'd use the products through my mum, and I knew I'd be able to earn £200 to £300 a month just by recommending these products to friends, and maybe not family, because mum had already been doing that. So I got started, and very quickly I built up a customer base. I learned to look after those customers, and that's how my business really began. So being a product of the products is really important. It took me 2 years to get to the manager position, so I didn't do anything quickly whatsoever. My journey was slow, but my confidence was growing. My goals were growing, and I realized Forever was an amazing vehicle to be able to make my dreams come true. That might sound a little bit cheesy, but it's exactly what this business has done. I joined the exact same business that you joined. I had the exact same starter pack that you had, and that starter pack has changed my life completely. You know, I live in my dream home with Will and Rosie, a converted farmhouse. We get to travel the world. I've got to put my children through a private education, which was important to me, not that I had that private education, but it's something I wanted for the children. And then 16 months ago, I had my little girl, Phoebe. And Forever has enabled me to take time out to really enjoy being a new mum again. So, any mums in the room might know it's pretty hard for a lot of us to lose that weight after having a baby. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people that comes out of hospital and puts my jeans back on that I was wearing before. Gosh, those people irritate me. It takes me ages to lose that baby weight. And what happens, I say, with age, I'm 42 now, it got even harder. So there I was at home with a little baby, loving every minute of it, enjoying the time, suddenly being around lots of mums again, eating lots of cake, out for lots of coffees, enjoying the odd tipple in the evening. And I was trying every diet out there, apart from our own, thinking, do you know what, I've done C9 that many times, I just can't get focused to do it. The truth is, I just wasn't really ready. I wasn't ready to make the sacrifices to lose the weight. And then, after I'd been on holiday with my sister, those of you that know my sister, Sam Fordry Jeffries, she's really skinny, really slim, 10 years younger, 2 small babies, and I felt like a pig next to her by the pool. So I thought, right, that's it. I'm going to do what's right in front of me. I'd never done the F15. Put your hands up if you'd never done it, if you have never done it. So loads of you are just like me. And I thought to myself, I'm never, ever going to be able to recommend this product because I've never done it myself. It's part of our weight management program. All I'd ever done was the C9 for that quick result, but I'd never continued. So I decided to decide. And I thought, right, I'm going to do the C9 followed by the F15. I got myself a personal trainer booked because I need someone knocking on my door, waiting for me to exercise. Otherwise, I'll procrastinate. And I got started. Now, you've heard Natalie say, Emma say, Danielle say, David say, you'll never recommend a product unless you've done it yourself. I'm sure there's no one in this room that's recommended a restaurant they haven't eaten in, recommended a movie they've never watched. It's exactly the same with our products. So I decided to be a product of the product, knowing that C9 and F15 are high case credit value. If I can recommend these every single month, that's going to go well towards my 4cc and beyond. But also, I'm going to be out there recruiting because I'm going to be a product of the product. I'm not going to be a little bit overweight recommending a health and wellness product range. So I decided to be Resolute. Now, January is the biggest weight management time of the year. Pretty much, not everyone we know, but most people we know will be setting goals to feel better about themselves. So this is your chance now to be ready. It's your chance now to get prepared to make 2019 your best year yet. Now, I'm sure lots of you might be in jobs. Lots of you might have parties booked up, and we have to have that 9 days clear in our diary. But I was thinking, actually, when I was just sat down there, imagine what a talking point it will be when you're sat there at the works Christmas dinner with your Garcinia, with your aloe, and the table are saying, what's that? Well, let me tell you. You're going to be building up that customer base ready for January. You're going to be a product of the product because they're going to be seeing the changes in you while they're getting festive and you're getting fit. So when head office came up with the Be Resolute campaign, I actually got a B in A-level English, and I thought to myself, what does Be Resolute mean? So, for those of you like me, being resolute means refusing to give up when times get challenging and doing everything in your power to succeed. Now, I read that, and yes, I was thinking being resolute with weight management, but those words, what do they mean to us as business builders, as keeping going in this business when the times get tough? Of not giving up when somebody was going to join your team and they didn't, someone bought a starter pack and they disappeared. You're resolute. Jane Leach didn't give up because she was resolute. She was resolute in building a business, exactly the same as everyone that comes across the stage. So to be successful in business is having the same attitude to being successful to your weight loss. And we want to be prepared for January, for that biggest weight loss season, which means getting prepared now. We need to understand what it's like, what it feels like those first few days of C9, what it feels like to go from the C9 to the FIT program, to do that exercise on a daily basis, to change our eating plans, to change our mindset, so that we can support our customers. Because the biggest support to your customers is having empathy. It's understanding what they're going through. It's being there with a message on the right day when you know that maybe they're feeling a little bit tired. They're having those pangs for a glass of wine or whatever it might be. And you're never going to have that empathy unless you've done it yourself. I'd never sold an F15 until I did it myself. And now I have, and now I've also got new team members from doing that too. Yuck. Facts tell, but stories sell. You know, it's great to have all the knowledge about how the C9 works, how the F15 works, which Emma did an amazing job of, but it's going to be your story of how it felt, your pictures of your journey, the journey that you share on social media on a daily basis to be able to get to your end goal. You know, and have a bit of fun with it. Be inventive. And you've got the chance now to develop that, going home today with a C9, getting it done before the 16th and using the hashtag, and winning an iPad. Who's going to be winning it? You know, you've got to be out there getting that C9 to do it. And taking the time now is going to be building your pipeline for January. Don't wait till January. I'm sure Jane will be sharing that in her slot later. It starts today. So, from sharing these photos, from experiencing how it felt, from actually having that stickability, I actually got back into the pair of jeans I was wearing before I got pregnant with Phoebe. But also, these photos were on my social media, and Will was at school, and one of the teachers who I'm connected to on social media and had also done a C9 in the past, got talking about it in front of Will. And Will's like, well, you need to talk to my mum. So Will's home tech teacher, who now makes the best aloe brownies, joined my team from me being an example of the products. And now, just yesterday, 2 people have joined her team. If I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have had that new team member. I wouldn't have had that duplication. And there's other people now in my pipeline that I know will be in my team in January. So we really need to all get behind the campaign so that we can be ready for January, so we can get the knowledge of how it feels to be on the programme, to have the before and after pictures, to be able to share with other people. Because I had so many people saying, Nat, can I share your photo? Can I share your photo? But it doesn't work the same as it being you. My friends know me. You know, your friends won't know who I am when you share that photo. It's just somebody, just another weight loss thing. So make those photos about you, and let's get ready for the 7th of January. But we also need to be able to learn how to look after those customers when they're on the C9 and the FIT program, how to be able to find those customers. And I've got an amazing lady in my team who is absolutely fantastic at customer care. She's the person I go to when I need help. And that means we're always still learning. You know, I learn loads from the people that I'm working with. We're never the end product. And Katie's customer care is absolutely incredible. Katie's a manager in the business, but I need you to give her a huge round of applause because this is her first time on the stage at a Success Day. So you ready to welcome her? Come on, Katie!
Hi, everybody. Oh gosh, that's loud, isn't it? So I was going to tell a story this morning, and my husband said that's a bit of a risky icebreaker, but I'm feeling brave. I used to be a teacher, and I used to teach in a boys' school. And when I'd been teaching for about 2 years, and I was a history teacher, and it was Holocaust Memorial Week, I was asked to do an assembly. Really delightful topic. Decided to do it on modern-day genocide. Fine. Walked up onto a stage in front of 400 teenage boys, shaking, and said, "It's my first time, boys, so be gentle." Without thinking at all, thankfully the year 7s and 8s in the front row didn't get a thing. The snigger from the 6th form at the back nearly put me off my stride. And it wasn't until I was leaving the assembly hall that one of my colleagues tapped me on the shoulder and went, "First time, eh, love?" So that was my first public speaking thing. So hopefully it won't be quite so embarrassing today. So as you've heard, I used to be a teacher. Prior to that, I worked in the city, and I came into this business through the Clean 9. I was a mother of 4. I am still a mother of 4. Really busy. Husband worked away a lot. No time for me, and somebody in the playground said, "You should try my cleanse." I did it. I loved it. And that also gave me my route out of the classroom and back into the playground. So I am hugely, hugely grateful to this product, and that's why I'm delighted to be here today. So what can you start to do now? We're in December, there's 31 days until New Year's Eve, and you've got to start building up your customer base ready to start in January with our Be Resolute campaign. As Peter Boots says, we're a talking business. The first thing you've got to start doing is talking to people about our products, asking them questions. How are they feeling? What are their plans for Christmas? How many parties are they going to? What are they going to wear? How many people are going to say, "Well, I would have worn the dress I wore last year, but I can't fit in it now"? Use your social media. The Be Resolute campaign for us as FBO starting tomorrow, so the 2nd of January to the 16th of January, is the perfect opportunity to get yourself out there on social media talking about our products, showing people what you eat when you're on the Clean 9. How many people have tried to sell a Clean 9 and people have said, "You can't eat anything, can you?" People are shocked, aren't they, that on a cleanse you actually eat. Host a fit launch between now and Christmas. They're absolutely brilliant. Just the same as a normal product launch in your lounge with a group of people. Get out the C9 box and literally talk them through the products, just like Emma did. I'm sure you all took lots of notes and lots of pictures of her slides. That's all you need to do a fit launch. Have the aloe, have the shakes, have things for people to try. You can also do fit launches as a much bigger event. I've actually got one booked for January already. I've hired a local cafe, I've got my chiropractor, I've got an acupuncturist, and I've got the local gym involved, and we're all bringing our networks together to showcase our products. So that's a way of doing a fit launch as well. How many of you have ever given out a one-day Clean 9 experience pack? I do that by buying a Clean 9 box, breaking it up into 9 days, going round to my friend's house, getting them to try the aloe, and then giving them a one-day Clean 9 to practice, especially with some of the great recipes in the back of the book. When you do that, people see that it's actually really easy to do it, and that fear goes away. And after doing 9 Clean 9 experience packs, I sold 9 Clean 9s, so it more than pays for itself. The other thing that you can do is run a live webinar with your team. You can do it on your own if you don't have a team, but I'd recommend talking to your upline. Get together, create a Facebook event, and do a live Clean 9 fit launch. It's really easy to do. Everybody just picks a product to talk about, and you all invite your network onto that launch. So there are lots and lots of things that you can start doing between now and Christmas to get people ready for that Be Resolute campaign in January. The self-development in Forever is quite incredible. There is no way on God's earth I would have shown a single picture of me in a bikini or my sports gear to anybody 3.5 years ago. But it's really, really important that you use your integrity. It's in our mission statement. How can you have integrity with the Clean 9 unless you've done it yourself? I'm sure you've all heard the line at all of our BPs where we say, "You can't recommend a restaurant if you haven't eaten it." It's the same with the Clean 9. You can't recommend it unless you've done it. But really importantly, with the Clean 9, what it gives you when you do it is personal first-hand experience and the knowledge about how the program works that you only get from doing it yourself. And of course, it gives you plenty of photos to see people. The other thing it made me realize when I put this slide was together that I definitely need a new sports bra as well. So, Getting to know your customer. So let's say you've got somebody, after doing all this stuff for the next couple of weeks, you've got somebody that's interested in the Clean 9. I don't sell it to them just like that. I sit down with them and I talk to them and I get to know them. I want to know why they're doing the Clean 9. I want to know if they're addicted to coffee, particularly lattes, whether they're addicted to fizzy drinks. If they're smoking, if they're not smoking, if they drink too much alcohol or a little bit of alcohol, when they drink that. I know that we've got a sign in my kitchen that says gin and tonic, mummy's little helper. Anytime I have anything with ice and lemon in, my kids think I'm having a gin and tonic. You need to know if they're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on medication. That's really important to refer them to the doctor if they want to think about doing it. You cannot do it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and the medication, obviously, you need to speak to your doctor. I'm a bit of a stickler for compliance. My team over there will laugh. I'm always telling people off for being uncompliant. Remember, you're not a doctor. If they want to take it and they're on medication, they need to talk to their doctor. It's really important you know if they're vegetarian or vegan, because Garcinia is not vegetarian. Garcinia is made with bovine gelatin, so be very careful with that one as well. And obviously that'll depend how strict a vegetarian they are. I want to know how much exercise they do. If you've got somebody that already does a lot of exercise, actually they might not need the Clean 9, they might skip straight to the Fit 15. I want to know what they snack on and when they snack. I want to know when I need to call them to say, don't pick up that biscuit, don't pick up that chocolate bar. I want to know their biggest weaknesses, and I also want to know their favourite food. Because if you can work their favourite food somehow into the Clean 9 and still keep them within the calorie requirements, well, then they're going to feel even better. So it's really, really important that you get to know your customer really, really well. I always say to people, I need 10 minutes with you when I deliver this, because I'm going to sit down with them, I'm going to open the box, I'm going to take everything out, and I'm going to talk to them for about 10 minutes about what's in the box. Now, if you've got customers that don't live near you or anything like that, that's fine. Just ask them when it's delivered, and you have that conversation over the phone. So I explain everything. I explain how it works and what everything does, just like Emma did in her slot there. So really, really go back to Emma's slot and learn about what she said. Or please go on Louise Riley's training. Everything I'm going to tell you today, I've learned from Louise. So I don't know where she is in the room, but thank you. So I talk them through what's in the box. I tell them to put their aloe in the fridge. How many people have had customers try the aloe on the first day when they've opened the box and it's not been chilled, and it's even more difficult to stomach, shall we say, than it is when it's cold? I also get them to try the aloe now. So when I deliver it, I take with me a chilled bottle of aloe already open, and I get them to try the aloe with me there and then. I want to be there to see their reaction. I want to see their face so I can say, have a grape, have a strawberry, have a glass of water ready or something. I don't want somebody to be on their own on day one of the Clean 9 trying aloe and going, I can't do this. Yeah, I bet you've all had people that on day one have said, I can't do this. You don't want that to happen, so make sure they've tried the aloe before. Another tip you need to give them is about the scooping of the shake. I'm sure lots of you have got to the end of your packet of the shake and gone, oh, I've got none left, because you've been putting too much in the scoop. Show them the line on the scoop, show them where it is, so they make sure they've got 15 portions rather of shake. I take them through the free foods. I explain that page. I explain how much you can eat. Go on Louise Riley's training and she will tell you all about that too. The free foods are absolutely invaluable in the Clean 9, so make sure they know about them. And we talk about the meals as well, so they can see that one, that they eat, and two, that the meals are really, really tasty. And I'm sure you'll all agree, if you've tried any of them, the portions actually are really big once you've been through the Clean 9. And then, of course, it's really important that you help them plan when to start. You don't want them starting it when they're about to embark on a huge project at work. You don't want them starting when they've got a week's worth of parties to go to. They need to understand that they need 9 really good days to do it, because you want them to be successful. You want them to refer customers to you, and you want them to enjoy the program. So you can help yourself by helping them choose when's the best time to start. So after I've delivered that, I ask them if they want to be added to my C9 group. And I'm sure, as Natalie said, you've all got various groups to help your customers through. I think it's really important that you ask people before you add them. Some people are really sensitive about their bodies and about groups like that, and they don't want to discuss weight management with anybody. They want to keep it quite private. So please ask them. And then I tell them how often I'm going to be in touch with them. And because I've really got to know them in that process, I'll know whether they need to be somebody I need to talk to 3-4 times a day, or whether there's somebody that I just need to call in the morning or the evening. So make sure you understand that about your customer. I always contact my customers the day before they start, and of course I know their start date because I've talked to them about it and it's in my diary. I make sure then again that they've got their aloe in the fridge. You don't want them to be waking up and faffing around with aloe. I make sure they've got their little Tupperware box of free foods ready to take to work if they're going to work. We've talked about how they're going to take all the stuff for day 1 and 2 to work. I know that's a silly thing, but it's logistics, isn't it? On day 1 and 2, you've got to drink aloe 4 times a day, and if they're working a shift from 7 till 7, they need their aloe with them. So you need to talk to them about how they're going to take it to work, where they're going to keep it, show them how to use the shaker. The number of people that don't realize the bit inside is for putting the powder in and screwing it on the bottom as well. So show them all of those things, ask them if they've got any questions, and obviously wish them good luck. So we're on to day 1. I'm really cheeky on day 1. I send a message usually about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and just ask them how breakfast was. Of course, you all know that breakfast is 120 mils of aloe and some supplements. That's about it. Maybe a glass of water, maybe a little bit of fruit. And of course, that's the point where, again, you can mitigate against all those objections people might have to the aloe. So start talking to them about that. I always remind them via a text message to have the fibre mid-morning. You need to help them create that habit of taking the fibre mid-morning every day. So just a couple of days of reminding them, don't forget to have your fibre. Because it's important there's a gap between the Garcinia and the fibre and the Garcinia and lunch. I always message them to remind them to have their Garcinia 20 minutes before their lunch. There's nothing more frustrating on the first 2 days. By lunchtime, they're really hungry, and if they suddenly realize they haven't taken their Garcinia and they need to wait another 20 minutes before they have their shake, it's really important. So send them a reminder about taking the Garcinia before lunch. And of course, message them after lunch, ask them if they enjoyed their shake. It's just about keeping in touch, being personable, and showing them that you care. At the end of the day, congratulate them. There's only 8 days to go. Ask them how they feel, and that's your opportunity to offer them any tips you might need to offer them as well. Now, day 2 is the hardest. I'm sure those of you who have done this, you'll agree with me. Day 2 is hard. It's hard because on day 1, you have not had very many calories at all. If you're anything like me, we talk about being hangry in my house. I'm not sure who's worse at the moment, whether it's me or my husband or my children who get hangrier, but hungry and angry, for those of you that didn't get that one. And I message them in the morning, ask them how they're feeling. They might be tired. I might say to them, make sure you plan an early night tonight, again, because they won't have had very many calories. If they're really struggling, take them to the free foods and tell them to have more fruit or something like that. Ask them again in the morning, have they had their fibre to get them in that habit. And then at the end of the day, give them a call and say, brilliant, you've done the hardest bit. It's easy now. From now on, it's easy. You're having breakfast tomorrow. Why don't you treat yourself by blending some raspberries or something into your shake in the morning? What are you having for dinner? Get them to start thinking about what they're planning for dinner on day 3. So day 3, again, message in the morning, how was breakfast? This is their first breakfast in 3 days. That's really exciting. And talk to them a bit about exercise. So days 1 and 2, we usually recommend you don't do an awful lot of heavy exercise because, of course, you're not having very many calories. But from day 3 onwards, it's perfectly fine to do a bit more intensive exercise. So talk to them about that. And because you know your customer really well by this point, if you've got somebody that hardly ever exercises, then just telling them to take the stairs and go for a little walk is absolutely fine. If you've got somebody that does a bit more, get them to get out and about. So exercise is really important as well. And then later in the day, I'll ask them, if I haven't already, what's for dinner, and get them really excited about dinner. And of course, ask them how the dinner was. Most people will send you a message telling you that's the best meal they've ever had on day 3, because they're hungry, really hungry. And of course, you've cleansed your palate as well, so the food tastes really good. Day 4 and 5, from your perspective, is much, much easier. They're in the habit, they're on past day 3, they know what the routine is. It's just a case of keeping in touch with them, keeping encouraging them, keeping them on track, keeping them drinking water. One of the problems I find with the Clean 9 is people start with really good intentions with the water, and then it tails off. And the water is so key to this program, so make sure you're constantly reminding them to drink their 8 glasses of water a day. They'll also start to ask them how they're feeling, and every time somebody tells me they feel good, I just go, that'll be the aloe. Oh, my skin looks better. Great, that'll be the aloe. Every time they say that, I want to sow that seed. I love Peter Boots' Aloe Up. That's exactly where I go with my Clean 9 customers. I want them to fall in love with aloe. I want them to become a regular aloe drinker. And this is a brilliant, brilliant way of getting them into that, because they see the benefits so intensively and so quickly. So day 6 and 7 is where I'm starting to talk to them about moving them on to a follow-on product. Because by day 6 and 7, they will probably physically look different and look better, but they will certainly feel better. And that's what you're really focusing on, is how do you feel? Lots of people by this point are well and truly into the routine. Some of them will start to be a bit frightened about what they're going to do on day 10. They like the routine of the Clean 9, and they go, well, what am I going to do next? How am I going to keep going? Have I got the willpower to do this on my own? So you can start talking to them about all of their different options. And as I said, every time they tell me they feel something good, I say, that will be the aloe. And of course, you've seen Emma's slide. You can reference aloe for the digestive system, you can reference the aloe for the immune system, and you can reference the aloe for skin, hair, and nails. So don't forget those key points about aloe. And I will ask them a direct question, what are they planning to do on day 10? So really, really start to get them thinking about day 10. So which follow-on products? For those people that absolutely love the routine and the booklet and the step-by-step guide to doing the Clean 9, they are absolutely the kind of people you need to move towards the Fit 15. It is so, so similar and so, so easy. They're used to the products, they understand how to use them all you're doing is adding more nutritional advice and more exercise. You're creating a program for them that will give them long-term change. The Fit 15 and the C9 together is that 24 days, and they say that habits take 21 days to form, so it's the perfect follow-on for so many people. Those who are on a full-on weight management journey that might have started the Clean 9 from a pretty bad place health-wise, they're also the people to move onto the Fit 15 because that will keep them in that routine. And they don't just have to do the Fit 15 once. They can do it again and again and again. It's a program. And you don't have to go from beginner 1 to beginner 2 to intermediate 1 to intermediate 2. You can stay on beginner 1 for as long as you feel comfortable before moving on to beginner 2. So it's entirely up to them, and you can tailor that to them. For people who just feel good and they like that feeling of feel good, these are the ones that I want to become my tri-pack aloe drinkers. Those are the ones that I might say, have you thought about a multivitamin and move them on to the Forever Daily? Or those are the ones I might say, have you ever heard of bee pollen? Do you eat a lot of fish? I'll say, no, well then maybe you should have our Arctic Sea. So those people, those feel good people, I start to broaden the product range out, usually into supplements, because of course those are monthly consumable products, and I want as many customers as possible on monthly consumable products so that I don't have to worry at all about my 4Case credits. Busy people, I find, love the shakes. It's a great one for those mums that don't have time to feed themselves before they do the school run. It's a great one for people who work really hard and can't afford to take a lunch break. So if I've got people I know are really busy, I might say to them, have the shake. And 2 packets of shake a month, of course, is a really, really valuable customer to have. Every product in the Clean 9 is a monthly consumable product, and that's why this product is so, so good for helping you build your business and build your retail base. So by day 8, as far as I'm concerned, they've chosen their follow-on product. If they haven't, don't worry. Now, I don't know if Beth Turner's here today, but I've pinched this from her. She has something she calls the law of sometimes. Sometimes people will not buy a follow-on product for me. Doesn't matter how many times I've said, that'll be the aloe, what I've recommended, how knowledgeable I am, they just wanted a quick fix with the Clean 9. That's fine. They'll soon realize eventually that they're going to have to do a bit of a longer program, but that's their choice. I know that I'm going to do about 10 case credits in January just from Clean 9 customers who come back to me every single January just to kickstart their year. So don't worry. The law of sometimes says that sometimes they won't choose a follow-on product. It's not the end of the world. The other thing I have to say on day 8, remind them that they have lunch on day 9. Lots of people forget that, and they think they've run out of shake powder in the morning when they have their breakfast. So remind them that actually day 9 is a 300-calorie lunch. That's really important. So day 9, in the morning, they're nearly there. I start to say those congratulations messages, ask them what they're having for lunch, what are they having for their final meal. Again, constantly asking them how they feel. Remind them to do a weigh-in. That's not for us, that's not for them to share, that's just for them. And they'll see that difference. If you've managed to encourage your customers to take a before and after photo for themselves, they'll see that difference, even if they don't think there has been one. I always ask them on day 9, what are they going to miss the most about doing the Clean 9? Because for those customers that haven't yet decided on a follow-on product, that's my one last chance, I think, to kind of introduce another product to them and to say, look, and if they say, actually, I'm really going to miss the aloe, great, that's exactly what I want to hear. And of course, this is the point where I'm really looking for referrals. By this point, I think I've looked after my customer really well. We've got to know each other really well. We've had daily contact. They feel good. They look good. This is your time to ask them directly for a referral. So I ask them to think about other people that they know that might enjoy the Clean 9, other people that they know that they think need the Clean 9 in their life, and I ask them directly for that referral, and always saying to them that I'd really appreciate their support. Day 10, congratulations, all done. Always thank people for doing the Clean 9 with you. Show gratitude and you'll receive gratitude back. They've been on a journey with you, they've enjoyed it, they'll have learned an awful lot about themselves. Ask them what they're going to take away from this. I want people to feel like they have it in them now to continue on their health and wellness journey. Hopefully with our products, but if not, I really don't mind, providing they've had a good experience and they feel like it's been successful. I want these people to be my customers for life, even if they haven't got a follow-on product now. They will come back to me, I promise you, for customers for life. So just remember, customer service is not a department, it's an attitude, and one customer well taken care of is going to be more valuable than £10,000 worth of advertising. I can tell you now, I've got at least a dozen Clean 9 customers I have never met that live all over the country because I've had referrals come to me from friends that have done the Clean 9 with me. So please, please remember that. So my name is Katie Buxton, and I am forever proud. Thank you very much.
So, how many of you would like to retail a C9 in January and have a new manager in your team by the end of the year? That was Katie. She came from being that Clean 9 customer. Emma, Will & Rose's teacher, started in October. She'd done the C9 in the September. She was recommending it to her friends because she was a product of the product. So she did 6 case credits in September. In October, Emma did another 5 case credits, all through retail. And during October, we'd started doing one-to-ones to people that were using the products, but also friends. And in November, actually, as I said last night, I said to her, you've got to keep on going because they weren't joining straight away. I promised her if we kept on doing the one-to-ones, they would, and we needed to follow up. Emma was asleep last night. I followed up on 2 of those one-to-ones, and 2 of them joined last night. Can you imagine how happy Emma was this morning? So let's be that product of the products and make 2019 your best year yet. So as I said, everyone was saying, Nat, can I share your photos? And it got me thinking to work with a few of the managers that I'm working closely with at the moment to create their own photos. So we got together in September and we said, let's do a 24-day program. We copied Fiona Izzard and I think Natalie Valenti's term, the 24-day shred. And we decided to set up a new group just for people that were going to be on this journey with us. We encouraged FBOs in our team to be part of the group, but they could only be part of the group if they were committed to do the C9 and the F15 themselves, because it's not up to other FBOs to do the answering of questions, because they don't understand how the program works. So to be part of it, we all had to be committed to do the program. We hosted an online fit event, again, for those FBOs that wanted to be part of it. So they were inviting their current customers and other friends that they had onto an online event. So we created this community, and we got together and all motivated each other on a daily basis, but also motivated our customers. And you know, maybe you haven't got a big group to work with, but you can work sideline, upline, you know, get together with other people to create this group together. So daily, we'd all have different roles to do. So beforehand, we'd committed to what our role would be, whether it would be doing motivational posts, whether it would be sharing recipes, whether it would be sharing shake recipes, whether it would be sharing different exercise. So we've got a personal trainer in the team, so Sarah Evans was live doing a different exercise each day. Whether it was focusing on mindset, or whether it was sharing information about the core products. So everybody had their role on a daily basis. And I believe everyone needs to have that role, because otherwise there's no one going to be answering the questions, no one commenting on the posts in the group. So you've all got to be part of it and take responsibility. You know, that whole saying, it's working together as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. We also, at the end of the program, did a live business overview. We know that if I ask now in this room who was a customer first, nearly 50% would say they were a customer first. So these are hot prospects. Like Emma, they'd got the benefit of the product and were talking to friends anyway. So we did a business presentation in the group sharing how they could earn some extra money. We asked for product ambassadors, and you can always reward a customer for giving you a sale with a free product. Expand their range. And the results of doing this, we had 60 FBOs committed to be doing the C9 and the F15. So that's 60 people contributing on a daily basis to the working of that group, taking responsibility. From that, we had over 130 customers now, all doing the C9, so the customer had to be added to the group when they'd purchased the C9, not when they were looking at it. And a lot of those went on to the F15 or have continued to be using the products. Sharing information about the products in there has increased product awareness. So, you know, they haven't just bought the C9, maybe now they're brushing their teeth with a tooth gel. It's increased product awareness in the team. That's the main thing. Most people, just like me, hadn't done the F15. You know, see how many people in your team haven't done it. Have you done it yourself? So that is going to increase sales into 2019 because we're ready. We can be there listening, ready for our customers. We know how to educate them on the product. So it increases brand awareness and the team. People are joining us as a result of the products. And I'm sure lots of you want to be up here on the stage next year as supervisor, assistant manager, manager. Who wants to be a diamond manager? We're going to see brand new diamond manager up on the stage later, Paul Brown. I'm sure many of his managers have come from being product users first. So you have to be that product of the product. I know I keep repeating myself, but for me it's the most important thing in this business. I wouldn't be here today if my mum had not been a product of the products. Mum started as a customer first. She then naturally started recommending the products, so her sponsor made her look at the business. I was using the products first, so I can understand how the product works for someone else. You know, Katie has shown you amazingly how to look after your customers. I certainly learned something new from Katie. So by using that, sharing the product, because you've done it yourself, taking great care of that customer, you're going to be recruiting as well. So I'm really hoping you're all going to snap up the Sonia Serum offer. You can't buy it anymore. You can only get it free today with your C9. I know there's only a few out there, probably not enough for the whole room. So get out there, get your C9, be committed to start now, and let's together be resolute. So, who's going to be with me on the 7th of January, ready to do their C9 and their FIT programme, and be standing on this stage having had a promotion as a result of being resolute? Have an amazing holiday, and make sure everybody is asking you why you're drinking water out of that wine glass. Thank you.